The party was on a rooftop, overlooking a restless city. Up here, the low hum came from mining rigs, making Bitcoin, not music. The guests watched numbers flicker on a giant screen. When the numbers rose, they smiled, cold, satisfied, like hunters admiring a fresh catch. They spoke in a language of nodes, hashes and blockchain designed to keep outsiders out. Liam just laughed at a young man asking how to start. If you have to ask, you're already too late. These were the new elite, convinced they'd found the secret key to the future, Bitcoin. To them, it wasn't just money, but a test, a way to measure worth. If you were smart, quick and ruthless, you belonged. The hum of the servers was their heartbeat, a new world being built, one digital block at a time. I watched Chloe, Ethan and Marcus. Together, they formed a tight unit, sharing a belief only the fittest survive. The party wasn't a celebration, but a declaration. Up here, the city's struggles were invisible, and the group had forgotten the world below. They believed they were building something exclusive, something that would last. Their language was a barrier, their smiles a warning. The rooftop felt like a fortress. I realized then this wasn't just a party, but the birth of a new kind of aristocracy. They called it digital eugenics. Marcus explained it to me in his minimalist office, city lights behind him. For centuries, society protected the weak, he said. That was a mistake. Bitcoin to him was a natural corrective, a force that would clear out the weak and let the strong thrive. It was a filter complex, volatile, demanding intelligence and nerve. The fearful and slow would stick to old money. The bold would embrace the future. Bitcoin would create a new aristocracy, not of blood but of intellect. The unfit would be priced out of the future. I asked if he felt bad for those left behind. He shook his head. It's not personal, it's evolution. Survival of the fittest, he said, is a natural law. We're just applying it to the digital age. He truly believed he was helping humanity evolve. But the concept was chilling, turning a technology meant for openness into a weapon of exclusion. Their language was all about strength and superiority. It was a dangerous philosophy, wrapped in the shiny packaging of cryptocurrency. And they were just getting started. The code was more than numbers. It was a blueprint for a new social order. To understand them, you had to listen. Liam, the former trader, was blunt. Don't be weak. Weakness is a disease. Chloe, the public face, was smooth. We provide an opportunity for excellence. Ethan, the charmer, made their harsh doctrine sound inspiring. You are pioneers, the 1% of the 1%. Marcus, the architect, rarely spoke in public, but in private his words mattered most. This protocol will be difficult for the average user, he said. That's a feature, not a bug. Their confidence was absolute. They saw themselves as the chosen few, destined to lead. Their words were weapons, shaping a world where only the strong survived. The rest were invisible. Their doctrine was simple, only the fittest deserved to thrive. The rest were left behind by design. The group seemed unbreakable until Marcus found a crack. During a late-night audit, he noticed small amounts of Bitcoin vanishing from every major transaction. At first he thought it was a bug, but the code was perfect. The diversions were deliberate, a secret backdoor. Betrayal hit hard. The blockchain was supposed to be incorruptible. Someone inside had corrupted it. Marcus traced the anonymous wallet, bypassing layers of security he'd built himself. The wallet belonged to Ethan, the group's charismatic face. Ethan had been skimming profits for months. The shock wasn't just about money, it was about trust. Their philosophy was built on being a superior class. But one of them had acted like a common thief. The foundation of their world cracked. Marcus stared at the evidence, realizing the system he built for purity had been used for deception. The group's unity was an illusion. The betrayal was personal, and it was devastating. The code was flawless, but the people were not. The digital fortress they built was vulnerable from within. The truth was undeniable. Their world was not as perfect as they believed. The first crack had appeared, and it would only grow. Trust, once broken, could not be restored. While Marcus uncovered betrayal, Chloe and Liam revealed their cruelty. Driving through a struggling part of the city, tents lined the sidewalks, faces worn by poverty. Liam complained about the market, oblivious to the suffering outside. Chloe watched with cold analysis, not pity. "Look at that," she said. "That's what happens when you have no drive." no ambition. They make bad choices and expect the world to save them. Liam sneered at a man searching for cans. He could have bought Bitcoin. Instead, he wasted his chance. To them, poverty was a personal failing, not a tragedy. Their conversation was a perfect example of their worldview, winners and losers, nothing in between. The suffering on the street was proof their system was working. Compassion was absent. Judgment was absolute. They saw themselves as winners, the rest as failures. The world was black and white. The hardship outside only strengthened their conviction. They had detached from the shared human experience. The city's pain was just background noise. Their system was designed to filter out the unfit. The sight of suffering didn't move them. It validated their beliefs. Their hearts were as cold as the code they worshipped. To understand digital eugenics, I met its architect, Dr. Alistair Reyes. He was no flashy investor, but a disgraced academic, now the group's mentor. In his library, surrounded by books on genetics and economics, he explained his theory. Human evolution had stalled, he said. Modern safety nets kept the weak alive. He saw Bitcoin as a new mechanism for natural selection, a cognitive fitness test. Traits needed for crypto success, intelligence, risk tolerance, long-term planning, were in his view genetic. Bitcoin, he claimed, was selecting for a superior profile. It's eugenics, yes, but voluntary. Elegant, he said. His speech was both fascinating and disturbing. He merged the cold logic of blockchain with a dangerous social theory. He gave the group a philosophical justification for their exclusivity. Their wealth became proof of biological superiority. Dr. Reyes planted the seed that their success was destiny, not luck. The group embraced his vision completely. Their greed became a noble cause in their own eyes. Marcus wasn't the only one to find a crack. Sophia, the group's legal mind, noticed financial inconsistencies. Ethan always explained them away, but Sophia was never satisfied. During a major acquisition, Ethan fought to keep some holdings private, raising red flags. Sophia launched her own secret investigation, cross-referencing thousands of transactions. What she found was worse than skimming. Ethan had built a web of shell companies and offshore accounts. He used the group's fund as his personal piggy bank, funding a lavish lifestyle and risky side bets. He falsified reports, forged signatures and lied for years. The scale of the deceit was breathtaking, a systematic betrayal. Sophia compiled her findings into a thick dossier. She knew presenting it would shatter the group. Their image of unity and superiority would be destroyed. The doctrine of digital eugenics was supposed to filter out the corrupt, but corruption had grown at the heart of their operation. The mask of friendship and ideology hid a rot that ran deep. The truth was about to explode. The confrontation happened at Marcus's apartment, city lights ignored. Sophia called an emergency meeting. Marcus, Sophia, Chloe, Liam and Ethan. Ethan arrived last, still trying to charm. Sophia placed her report on the table, her voice calm as she laid out the facts. Shell companies, hidden accounts, forged documents. Ethan's smile faded. He tried to deny, but the evidence was overwhelming. Liam exploded, ready for a fight. Chloe stopped him. Violence was beneath them. Ethan tried to justify himself. It was for the good of the group, he claimed, but his words rang hollow. The final moment came down to Marcus. He looked at Ethan, hurt more than angry. "I found the back door in the code," Marcus said quietly. "I built this system to be perfect. You used it to lie to us, to me. It wasn't about the money. It was about trust." The sense of betrayal was clear. In that moment, their friendship and the foundation of their world crumbled. The group's unity was shattered. The doctrine of superiority had failed its own test. The empire they built was cracking from within. The confrontation was the end of their unity and the beginning of doubt. The truth could not be ignored. Their world would never be the same. The cost of betrayal was everything they believed in. The group was broken. The future was uncertain. The city outside kept moving, indifferent to their fall. The night was silent except for the hum of the machines. The confrontation ended the group's unity, but for Marcus, it sparked deep doubt. He'd believed in their mission, building a better world through digital eugenics. But the system failed its first test. The one who thrived most was the most corrupt. Ethan wasn't superior, just a better liar. Marcus questioned everything. Was their system selecting for strength or just greed? He remembered the rooftop party, the exclusion, the coldness. What he once saw as strength now looked like moral weakness. They weren't building a better world, just a smaller, colder one. The idea that technology could judge human worth was a dangerous illusion. The group fractured. Liam wanted revenge, Chloe wanted to control the damage, Sophia wanted legal dissolution. Marcus was lost in thought, realizing empathy might be the one thing that truly mattered. The clean logic of code had collided with messy human reality. The Empire still stood, but its moral foundation was dust. The seduction of their idea was powerful, but the cost was their humanity. The first step on a long, uncertain road had begun. The machines kept humming, but the world they built was empty inside.